Assalamualaikum and good day to everyone. My name is Nurul Hambari from IMS556 Elective A, and today I will be presenting and introducing you to cloud computing. While cloud computing is not necessarily a new discovery, the digital sector changes practically every day. Technology is expanding and evolving, and it can be difficult to stay on top of all the new advancements and innovations. Companies only recently began to use it only in the last several years. This cutting-edge digital solution has changed and transformed many elements of daily living. Of course, I'm here today to inspire everyone by outlining the benefits of adopting and standardizing cloud computing throughout our company. Let's begin by defining cloud computing. The name cloud computing comes from the fact that the information being used is stored in a place called the cloud or a virtual space. When you use cloud services from a company, you can store files and programs on remote servers and then access them all over the internet. This means that the user doesn't have to be in a certain place to use it, so they can work from anywhere. With cloud computing, you don't have to do all the hard work of crunching and processing data on the device you carry with you or use at your desk. All of that work is also sent to huge groups of computers far away in cyberspace. The internet becomes the cloud, and voila! Your data, work, and applications are available from any device with which you can connect to the internet anywhere in the world. So now we are moving on with the types of cloud computing. There are four main types of cloud computing, which is private clouds, public clouds, hybrid clouds, and multi-clouds. There are also three main types of cloud computing services, which is infrastructure as a service, IaaS, platforms as a service, PaaS, and software as a service, SaaS. So, picking a type of cloud or cloud service is a unique choice. Even if they are the same kind of cloud, no two clouds are the same, and no two cloud services solve the same problem. But if you know how the different types of cloud computing and cloud services are similar, you will know how the differences might affect your business. Next is we want to explain more detail about four main types of cloud computing. First is public clouds. Public clouds are cloud environments that are usually built with IT equipment that does not belong to the end user. Alibaba Cloud, Amazon Web Services, AWS, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, and Microsoft Azure are some of the biggest public cloud providers. Traditional public clouds have always been run away from the client's data center, but today's public cloud providers are starting to offer cloud services in the data centers of their clients. Location and ownership are no longer important because of this. When environments are split up and given to more than one tenant, they all become public clouds. Public clouds no longer have to fee structures because some cloud providers, like the Matric, Open Cloud, let people use their clouds for free. So the bare metal IT infrastructure that public cloud providers use can also be abstracted and also as IaaS, or it can be built into a cloud platform and sold as PaaS. Second is private clouds. Private clouds are cloud environments that are only used by a single end user or group, and they usually run behind the firewall of that user or group. All clouds become private when the underlying IT infrastructure is set aside for a single customer and access to it is completely blocked. But IT infrastructure on site is no longer required for private clouds. Organizations are now building private clouds on rented, vendor-owned data centers that are not on their own property. This means that rules about location and ownership are no longer relevant. Third, for hybrid clouds. A hybrid cloud is an IT environment that looks like one, but is actually made up of multiple environments connected by local area networks, wide area networks, visual private networks, and application programming interfaces. Hybrid clouds have a lot of different features, and the requirements can be different depending on who you ask. For example, A hybrid cloud may need to include at least one private cloud and at least one public cloud. Last but not least is multi-clouds. Multi-clouds are a type of cloud strategy that uses more than one cloud service from more than one public or private cloud provider. Multi-clouds are made up of more than one cloud, but not all hybrid clouds are multi-clouds. When different clouds are linked together through integration or orchestration, they are called hybrid clouds. Next, we are moving on to the cloud services. Cloud services are infrastructure, platforms, or software that are hosted by third-party providers and made available to users through the internet. There are three main types of as-a-service solution, which is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Each facilitates the flow of user data from front-end clients through the internet to the cloud service provider system and back, but vary by what is provided. First, infrastructure as a service. IaaS stands for a cloud service provider who uses an internet connection to handle your infrastructure, including the real servers, network visualization, and data storage. The user essentially runs the infrastructure and has access via an API or dashboard, while the provider handles any hardware, networking, hard drive, data storage, and servers, and is in charge of handling outages, repairs, and hardware issues. The user is in charge of things like the operating system, apps, and middleware. This is how most cloud storage companies deploy their system. Next, platform as a service. PaaS means the hardware and an application software platform are provided and managed by an outside cloud service provider, but the user handles the apps running on top of the platform and the data the app relies on. Primarily for developers and programmers, PaaS gives users a shared cloud platform for application development and management without having to build and maintain the infrastructure usually associated with the process. Lastly, before we move to our main agenda, is software as a service. SaaS is a service that gives consumers access to a piece of software that the cloud service provider administers. SaaS apps are often web or mobile applications that consumers can access using a web browser. Users connect to the cloud applicators via a dashboard or API, and updates, bug patches, and other routine software maintenance are handled for them. SaaS also removes the requirement for a program to be locally installed on each user's computer, opening up more options for group or team access to the software. We move to our main agenda is the benefits of cloud computing. First, faster time to market. New instances can be created or retired in a matter of seconds, helping developers to expedite their development with rapid deployments. Cloud computing facilitates the development of new ideas and applications by removing hardware constraints and accelerating procurement processes. Next, scalability and flexibility. Cloud computing increases the flexibility of organization. Without investing in physical infrastructure, you may swiftly scale up your resources and storage to match business demands. Companies are not required to purchase or construct the infrastructure required to support their greatest load levels. Similarly, they can repeatedly cut back if resources are not being utilized. The third is cost saving. Whatever cloud service model you choose, you only pay for the resources you actually use. This helps you avoid overbuilding and over-provisioning your data center and gives your IT teams back valuable time to focus on more strategic work. Fourth, advanced security. Despite popular perceptions, cloud computing can actually strengthen your security posture because of the depth and breadth of security features, automatic maintenance, and centralized management. Reputable cloud providers also hire top security experts and employ the most advanced solutions, providing more robust protection. Last but not least, for the benefits is data loss prevention. Cloud providers offer backup and disaster recovery features. Storing data in the cloud rather than locally can help prevent data loss in the event of an emergency, such as hardware malfunction, malicious threats, or even simple user error. Next agenda is the risk of cloud computing. We'll list down first the risk, which is limited visibility into network operations, malware, compliance, and loss of data. First, limited visibility into network operations. When moving workloads and assets to the cloud, organizations forfeit a certain level of visibility into network operations. This is because the responsibility of managing some of the systems and policies shift to the cloud service provider. Depending on the type of service model being used, the shift or responsibility may vary in scope. As a result, organizations must be able to monitor their network infrastructure without the use of network-based monitoring and logging. Second is the malware. By moving large amounts of sensitive data to an internet-connected cloud environment, organizations are opening themselves up to additional cyber threats. Malware attacks are a common threat to cloud security, with studies showing that nearly 90% of organizations are more likely to experience data breaches as cloud usage increases. As cybercriminals continue to become increasingly savvy with their attack delivery methods, organizations must be aware of the evolving threat landscape. Next, compliance. Data privacy is becoming a growing concern, and as a result, compliance regulations and industry standards such as GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS are becoming more stringent. One of the keys to ensuring ongoing compliance is by overseeing who can access data and what exactly they can do with that access. Cloud systems typically allow for large-scale user access, so if the proper security measures, example access control, are not in place, it can be difficult to monitor access across the network. Lastly, loss of data. Data leakage is a growing concern for organizations, with over 60% citing it as their biggest cloud security concern. As previously mentioned, cloud computing requires organizations to give up some of their control to the CSP. This can mean that the security of some of your organization's critical data may fall into the hands of someone outside of your IT department. If the cloud service provider experiences a breach or attack, your organization will not only lose its data in intellectual property but will also be held responsible for any resulting damage. So, at this point, it is clear that the benefits are more important than the risk. Most companies don't think about whether or not they should move to the cloud. Instead, they think about what they should move. The cloud makes things more flexible and reliable, improves performance and efficiency, and helps keep IT costs down. It also makes organizations more innovative, so they can get their products to market faster and use AI and machine learning in their strategies. These main benefits can also lead to other benefits that can help improve operational efficiency, support remote workers, and boost productivity. Also, it is important to keep in mind that starting your own cloud journey does not mean you have to do everything at once. For example, many businesses are finding that a hybrid approach can help them extend the capacity and capabilities of their existing infrastructure while still running in the environment that works best for the business as a whole. So, that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.